Well, I lived 2 years in India during the 60s, and I heard many ideas. I was studying the philosophy, and there was one idea they had about history that came from the Vedas, about how history goes from one stage to another based on which caste you belong to. And when I was reading the Japan Times in my toilet in Tokyo, in my apartment in Tokyo, all those years in India, none of those ideas made any sense to me. I couldn't see how they fit real history, because I studied history at New York University. So what happened was, I realized then somehow from reading the article about how the Vietnam War ended and how this fit into the Indian picture, suddenly the Indian picture became clear, and I was able to pinpoint which periods of history corresponded to which periods dominated by the values of a particular caste. You know, there are 4 castes: religious, warrior, merchant, and worker. And those are the ages that history went through, from religious to warrior to merchant, capitalism, early capitalism, worker, mature capitalism, and now back to a spiritual direction, religion and spirituality. You know, old-time religion, 90%, a few people moving beyond that to more non-attached spirituality, not connected so much with religion.
And that's in your book, I think.
This is all in my book in detail. There are 2 other ideas about history which were much easier to spot. One was the idea that the ages of history correspond to the ages of a single person's life. So there was an age of birth at the beginning of human history, then an age of infancy, an age of childhood, an age of teenage. And that's about where the human race is now, the maturity level of a 19-year-old. And so we are trying to progress to adulthood, to the age of adults. That'll take some time. And then the other idea is more like a feminist Chinese idea that history started out oriented toward the female principle, then it switched to the male principle, and now it's becoming androgynous, bisexual. So those 3 ideas, I explain history using those 3 ideas, and then project what's going to happen in the future, the next 100 years. Some of the ideas
Are we going to survive?
There's a high possibility. The survival rate for the human race is about the same average that an adolescent has to survive to adulthood. It's the most dangerous period. So 99%, I think, of teenagers survive to adulthood, so the odds are 99 to 1. What can I tell you?